Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Evans here for NA Lit Chat. It's Monday, November 3rd, and I'm so excited. It's the beginning of Nano. I love seeing everybody post all their word counts and scores and progress. This week on NA Lit Chat, we have a very special guest, amazing tips with us. We have Rachel Aaron with us. She's the author of 2K to 10K as well as a lot of great fiction. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hello, Amy. I am so happy to be here, and I am doing awesome.
We're so happy to have you. Talk to us about the books that led you to write the book on writing first. What do you like to write? What are your fiction novels about?
Oh, well, I am a giant nerd, and I like pretty much anything that touches the nerd culture. I write fantasy, I write science fiction, and I write, and now urban fantasy. My latest book,
So people can find you.
oh yeah, my latest book, Nice Dragons Finish Last, just came out in July, and it's been doing really, really well, and it's urban fantasy about dragons. And so it's super fun, and you can find actually all my books at my website, which is rachelaaron.net. I have all of them. I have sample chapters, everything you could ever want. The books that kind of brought me to write 2K to 10K, which started as a blog post and grew into this sort of whole book, which I never expected to go anywhere, and it turns out everyone loves it.
Super helpful.
Well, thank you. I actually, when I first kind of figured out how to jump my writing to like 10,000 words a day, I felt like I'd cured cancer. I wanted to tell everyone. I'm like, you guys, you have to know. The internet must know. And that's kind of really what spurred the book. But really, what kind of sparked the change for me was that I was writing my first fantasy series, The Legend of Eli Press. I was on, I think, book 4 of The Legend of Eli of a 5-book series, and I was under contract. So these books had to get written, or I would not, or I'd have to give the money back, basically. So that's a pretty strong incentive.
Yeah.
And I just had a baby, and he was a little baby at the time, and so I had to be at home a lot. And so my writing time, because I'd gone from being like a full-time writer with all the time in the world to suddenly only having 12 hours a week that I'd paid for. I paid a sitter for 12 hours. So I'm paying like $10 an hour for these 12 hours to write. And so I'm like, okay, I got to write. But, you know, I've been writing in the morning and whatnot. And I was like, I've been writing about 2,000 words a day at this point. And I'm like, okay, well, I have like 6 hours uninterrupted time. I should be able to get 4,000 words. No problem. And I just couldn't. Even though I added the like 4 hours to my writing time, I was still only getting 2,000 words a day, and this was a really serious problem at the time, because if I did not finish this book, if I was late, then my whole production schedule was going to get pushed back. Because you know, when you're publishing with a publisher, you have a window that you have to deliver, and if you do not deliver within your window, everyone else, all the editors and the copy editors and the cover artists, they all get pushed back because they have to work on other books. So I was like, I have to finish this. So I got scientific, because that's what I do when I'm faced with a problem. Told you I was a giant nerd. And I started tracking. Sorry, that's the next step. The first thing I did was actually I was in the middle of this scene. It was this horrible scene. Well, actually, it turned out to be a pretty good scene. But it was this very confusing scene with a lot of emotional issues going on. There's a lot going on in the scene, and I've been stuck in it for like 2 days. You know how you just get stuck in a scene? And it's only like 2 pages, and you just can't get it right. And you're doing over and over and over, and you're changing every little thing. It was horrible. Worst feeling ever.
800 times.
Yeah, it's when you just start hating your own book. I was like, this is so stupid. So I just closed my laptop, and I got out my notepad. And I just started, what is this scene about? What's going on? And I started writing out in like really shorthand what was happening in the scene. It was like kind of like you're writing up like a really quick description of a movie for a friend. You know, you're not really sweating the small stuff. You're just talking about what's cool and what happens and what people say. And in about 5 minutes, I had untangled this entire scene. I knew exactly what I was going to write. And so I opened up my laptop again, and I wrote that whole scene in 30 minutes.
Wow.
The scene I've been writing for 2 days, I wrote in 30 minutes because I knew what I was talking about. I knew what I was going to write before I wrote it. And that's, if you take nothing else from 2K to 10K, that's the big secret. Know what you're going to write before you write it. And just that one simple step, that this person's going to say this, and this person's going to say this, this is how the back and forth works, that can double your word count. Right. That right there alone will double it. And
awesome.
That was how it worked.
Well, and I love that, and we're going to talk to you a lot more about tips and tricks and tracking, and how you can use NaNoWriMo to build habits, and how you can use some of these same tricks for editing. We're going to do all that Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Twitter and Google Hangouts.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be great. Thank you so much, Rachel. I can't wait to talk to you then.
I can't wait to talk to you. Thank you.
Bye now.